Prisoner locked up, can't get you off my mind. Hey everyone, and welcome to Bourbon Bites. Tonight we are trying the second release of Bardstown The Prisoner collaboration. If you're not aware, The Prisoner is a red wine blend from California that sources wine from a bunch of different vineyards to create an annual release. I did miss out on the first release of this, so I want to give a big thank you to the team at Bardstown Bourbon Company for providing the sample for today's review. This comes in at 100 proof and is about $130 depending on your area. So they take a 9-year Tennessee bourbon and finish it for 18 months in the wine casks. If you're familiar with finishing, that is a pretty significant amount of time, so I'm expecting a lot of red wine here on the palate. Let's go ahead and give it a nose first. Oh yeah, there's a lot of really sweet berry kind of influence on the nose. You can definitely tell it's a Tennessee whiskey. It has a bit of that minerality that I think a lot of people come to expect from the Tennessee whiskey distillery that most people source from for things like this. Although my opinion of that distillery has changed quite a bit based on their latest bottle and bond release from last year, so I'm not going to knock it just based on the nose. It does kind of have some of those like popcorn kind of notes, but it's mixed with like a black cherry kind of note from the wine itself. Yeah, really dark red fruits. I would say maybe even like a blackberry too. Let's go ahead and give it a try. Cheers. On the palate, the wine influence isn't showing up as much as I expected at first. Yeah, up front there's a lot of that minerality from, let's just say it, George Dickel, which is the Tennessee whiskey distillery that most people source from. There is a bit more of that than I expected, and I know a lot of people are totally fine with that note. Some people even love that note. It's just not something that I typically gravitate towards when I want to drink a whiskey. It has a lot of that nuttiness that I always say, like a caramel popcorn kind of note. Sweet, definitely buttery, and there's a lot of corn being highlighted on the palate. I do think the wine influence is impacting the fact that it is super balanced. It's only 100 proof, so it is lower than what I'm used to with like the Discovery release, but this one drinks really, really nicely. I do wish that wine, I keep going back to it, hoping to find a little bit more of the wine influence on this, but it really is struggling to show up. I mean, color-wise, it's pretty dark for a 9-year-old Tennessee whiskey, but I think it really shows up on the nose more than anything. Now, disclaimer, I haven't tried the Prisoner wine. I am sure I will love it. I love a good red wine. I typically go to Cabernets, but I also appreciate a really good blend. So maybe if I'd had the wine before, I would notice more of the specific notes from that release. Yeah, I mean, I guess if that's your jam and you do like Tennessee whiskey, particularly from George Dickel, then you will really, really appreciate this. Definitely try it first, especially if you don't know for sure if you like a Tennessee whiskey kind of note. Try it at a bar, get a pour from a friend. I don't recommend plopping down, $130 without knowing what you're getting into with this one. While this isn't something I would personally pick up, y'all know that I love Bardstown Bourbon Company. I just reviewed their Discovery Series 4 and Fusion Series 4. I'll put the link to it up here if you missed it. That Discovery Series, literally the sample they sent me convinced me to go buy a bottle. I actually just got it in last week. So I think I will stick to their Kentucky releases. However, definitely give it a try if you think you may like it. But I'm curious to hear, do you guys like this? Have you tried the first release or the second release? Have you tried both? Let me know, is there a difference between the two? But until next time, this has been Bourbon Bites, whiskey reviews with a gaming twist. I'm Clifton, cheers, and I'll see y'all next video.